each other on the stream. It always helps if we can.
It always helps, like it.
Oh, God. I hope Alan's got that open, because we'll probably go to Alan for that one first.
Sounds like a plan.
On the stream. It always helps if we can.
Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whatever time of day it is in which you are joining us on this fine Saturday evening, as we are doing you a Saturday treat as we watch along to the Maxi Cab Knockout Cup meeting between Plymouth and Poole. And I am joined this evening by Mr. Dylan Hodgetts, and in the flesh I am joined by... Hi guys, it's me, Big Al. How are you doing, gentlemen?
Really worries me that you and Alan are sat on the same bed.
It's quite concerning.
It really worries me.
Yes, it is. I'm just as worried as what you are.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Shall we quickly get a word from Al on the meeting going on at Glasgow before we look into this one?
Yeah, okay. So, there's been 4 heats at Glasgow.
No, there's not. There's been 5.
Oh, according to updates, there's only been 4. Hold on.
Refresh it, Al.
5 now. So, scores at the moment. Alex Adamson is on 2 from 2. Otto Rack is on 0 from 1. Jan Jenisek is on 1 from 1. Slater Lightcap, 3 from 1. Patricia Erhat, 1 from 2. No Wahelquist, 1 from 1. Ashton Bougen, 2 from 1. Anthony Menzel, 3 from 1. Pete Zitschke, 4 from 1. 2. Jake Mulford, 3 from 1.
God.
Timothy Dion, retired from his only race. Joseph Thompson, 2 from 1. Vilad Nagel, 3 from 2. Mikkel Anderson, 3 from 1. Jan Przanowski, 2 from 1. And Michael West, Built to score. From one.
Gate 4 seems to be the gate to be on there as well. Gates 1 and 4 working the best. 2 and 3 are not.
Basically.
Tatshiski's got the quickest winning time of the day from Heat 5 with a 57.520.
He's won a race in 2025.
Shocking, isn't it?
Stop the world.
Wow.
Looking on to this one, Parmatt, do you want to talk us through the Gladiators of Plymouth?
So for the Plymouth Gladiators, it is with big regret to announce that their number 1 is Chris Harris, guested for Nikolai Clint, who has scored a maximum in Poland this afternoon. Their number 2 is Turkey Teeth, otherwise known as Alfie Botel. It's rider replacement at number 3 because Joe Thompson's gone to Glasgow and Zane Kennedy is a little bit dead. And number 4 is Lassie Fredrickson. At number 5 is the Timu Bartosz Marzik, or Ben Barker as he's known. Number 6 is Mitchell Clough, and at number 7 is Benjamin Trigger. Mr. Dill, have you got a man to watch, and why is he your man to watch, or she?
Lassie Fredrickson, he's took to Plymouth really well. When he's been fit, he's been scoring really well. It's just keeping him fit.
Yes, can't disagree with that.
Who's yours?
I've gone for me old cherub Triggs. I think obviously he's put under the pressure today because he's got a lot of home track knowledge around Plymouth, and let's be honest, Mitchell Clough is a little bit crap, so Trigger's going to be needed to really step up tonight more than any other night.
For the Pirates of Poole from down on South Coast, Richard Lawson goes at number 1, still yet to win a Heat 1 at championship level this season. Tobias Thompson, cult hero of D&D Media, goes at number 2, Anders Rowe at 3, Zach Cook at 4, Libby Kerr at 5, Paul Stark at 6 and Darryl Richards at 7. Palmer, your man to watch for the Pirates.
I've gone for our cult hero Tobias Thompson just because I want him to scare the insert explicit word here like he did at Oxford last year.
Got point. I've gone for Zach Cook. Obviously started his British career with Plymouth and always goes really well around the Coliseum. Obviously now firmly a Poole Pirate, but did start his career at Plymouth, and he knows the fastest way around, and his form is improving week on week for both Bellevue and Poole.
100%.
And Poole will be looking to avoid what happened in the BSN series a couple of weeks ago, where they lost here at Plymouth in a last heat decider.
Imagine losing to Plymouth.
Al, you got men to watch.
Yeah, I have, yeah. So for Plymouth, I've got Benjamin Barker.
Stream's dead.
Yeah,
Missed
so
tonight.
He's had so many laps round that track that he should be doing well. So he better.
Because
As
Al
for
said
Poole,
so.
I'm going for Darryl Richards. Don't know much about him, but interested to see what he can do.
Normal jobs for tonight. I'll do the heats, Palmer will do the commentary. Should be quite easy around here. The place is tiny. And the lineup for heat number 1. Going off the inside gate in blue is Turkey Teeth, Alfie Botel. Gate 2 in yellow, Tobias Thompson. Gate 3 in red, wearing his Ouija suit, boo, is Chris Harris. And off the outside in white, as we said in the start, still yet to win a Heat 1 at championship level, Richard Lawson. And Palmer, I ain't having this, it ain't 7 o'clock yet and the 2 minutes are on and they're cracking on, and that's because there's rain forecast from 8 o'clock at Plymouth, so they're going to want to get it through.
Yeah, that they are. If someone could tell Chris Harris to get himself to the tapes, please, because we haven't got all night.
You sure?
That would be appreciated. Yeah, we haven't got all night. Some of us have got sleep to have before big bus journeys tomorrow.
Poor Al, on his way down to Birmingham for probably a rain-off. Richard Lawson's asking for the green light to be shone.
Oh, I thought it was just waving to his old pal Chris Harris, just to be like, how did that British final go for your pal?
You don't, until you look at that fence, you see just how wonky that home straight fence is at Plymouth. My good God.
So, the start marshal Looks like he's trying to get Turkey Teeth to get himself into order then for heat number 1 as the Star Master now walks away. The riders look at the magnets and the tapes. Riders, it's a fairly even start. Those are going to the first bend, but it is the rider in the yellow helmet colour there, Tobias Thompson, literally scaring the riders there into oblivion as he has a big lead with Turkey Teeth there in second, and a big battle is between Chris Harris and Richard Lawson for third and fourth as Lawson tries to go up the inside there of Harris. Harris just holds the right line, and Harris is currently in third, and this is going to be another Heat 1 Richard Lawson fails to win, and at this point he's going to fail to score because the two Plymouth Gladiators in this one almost team riding Lawson out of this, but what an electric start it was from gate number 2 for Tobias Thompson in yellow. He's out there, he could go get himself an hot dog, and he's proving to us why he is a cult hero. That's cult to anybody that's listening, and he takes a checkered flag.
That was easy enough for him, wasn't it?
First of the man to watch.
Absolute G. I don't think we'll get donuts from him yet because, to be honest, there's not enough room at Plymouth to do them.
There isn't. And my donuts are in the cupboard downstairs.
That's what Alan's there for, to go and get them for you after. The result of Heat 1 then was a win for the rider in yellow, Tobias Thompson, second in blue, Alfie Botel, and third in red, Chris Harris. Another, as Palmer said, another Heat 1 that Richard Lawson has failed to win. Points divided, 3 apiece. And they are trying to crack on with this, as you'd probably expect with the forecast that's coming, because typical bank holiday weekend weather, it's going to sod in rain.
Always the case, isn't it, when it comes to a bank holiday?
Alan's took his weekend to go, week to go on an England tour, isn't he?
What a week he's picked.
What a gate from Tobias.
That was perfect, and he just got that first turn right, and there was just no looking back for him, was there? Richard Lawson was awful.
Yeah, it wasn't great. I ain't having this. Plymouth Gladiators doing something that certain other speedway streams of clubs can't offer. Replays.
Wouldn't be going on about that Scorpions TV there, would you?
Nah, never heard of them.
Nah, me neither. They sound crap.
The riders coming up for Heat 2. Going off the inside gate in white for the Pirates is Paul Stark. Gate 2 in red, Mitchell Clough. Gate 3 in yellow, temporary signing for Poole is Darryl Richings, who's come in to replace Matt Marson until Willie Cairns is eligible. And off the outside in blue, Palmer's man to watch, Ben Trigger. Done a lot of laps around Plymouth as old Triggs.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's probably done as many laps of Plymouth as what Luke Harrison has done around Scunny.
That's paying dividends for Luke at Scunny, to be fair.
Yeah, you can see the progression levels between the two riders. Look where Trigger is and look where Luke is. Luke's going to be in a position soon where he's not going to need the National League or the National Trophy.
Something wrong with Trigger's bike there. Something's come loose. He's trying to punch it back in. It's just a bit of pot luck as to whether it's going to work or not now, I think. Could this be a tactical nibble at the start to get a rerun out of it, so I get a fresh 2 minutes to check that?
We'll still find out then as the start marshal walks away for heat number 2. The riders look at the magnets and takes the rise away. We go. It's a very good start there for Mitchell Clough. Who the bloody hell saw this one coming? As Trigger now looks to come up the inside of both the Poole boys, but the Poole boys have both got this. Second and third almost wrapped up, although Paul Starks decided to almost murder his teammate and Trigger's come through, so it's the Gladiators currently on a 4-2. Clough's about to win his first race of the season. Nobody expected this, to be fair, as we come to lap number 3 now, and still the same. Richards is putting Ben Trigger under some pressure now, to be fair, but Mitchell Clough's out there, he's away, he could go get himself a hot dog. And Triggers now is started to pull away from Darryl Richards. I think Richards just made a little mistake on the previous lap. But we're witnessing history in the making here, because I believe this is Mitchell Clough's first heat win of 2025. And, yeah.
Paul Stark is an absolute dickhead, isn't he? Who needs opposition with a teammate like that fucking idiot? What was that? Imagine that. I hope he goes back in the pits and Danny Ford chews his arse out for being a prat.
To be fair, Danny Ford does look a little bit camp. He probably would love to chew his bum.
Darrell's fuming. Darrell's just got straight up to Starkey, got right in his face. I would as well. I'd be chinning him for that. The results of Heat 2 was a win for the rider in red, Mitchell Clough. Second in white, the dickhead Paul Stark. And third in blue, Ben Trigger. 4-2 to Plymouth, 7 points to 5.
And it is.
And Gate 2 has won 2 from 2.
And that's where Anders Row is next. If Speedway Plus program generators right.
Look at the state of this. Richings and Stark gated well. Clough was gone. They were easily second and third, and Stark decided to run his teammate up to the fence. Absolute penis.
Yeah, as you can see there, Clough was gone, and
Stark was more
right
interested in racing his teammate. Look at the state of that.
Who needs teammates when you've got Paul Stark?
Paul should be sacking him anyway. It's crap.
And let's be honest, Paul won't be short of options of riders to bring in because everybody wants to go to Paul.
Successful teams, isn't it?
Why nobody wants to go to Glasgow?
Another rider to watch here in Lassie Fredrickson. Done well to progress from reserve into the main body, and I think he's more than capable of holding his own in the main body as well. Interesting to see the RR is. Alfie Botel takes the RR. The lineup of heat number 3 going off the inside gate in blue for Plymouth, Lassie Fredrickson. Gate 2 in white, favoured gate so far, belongs to Anders Rowe. Rider replacement in gate 3 of Alfie Botel. And off the outside in yellow, Zach Cook, who guested for Oxford in the Premiership on Thursday and had a decent old meeting.
He did solid enough at Oxford the other day, didn't he? Fair play, the geezer. Talking of Oxford, they got beat last night by a much more elite team than Oxford.
Although they did advance to the semi-finals on aggregate.
Yeah, but nobody cares about knockout.
Didn't you win that 2 years ago?
Yeah, it's the only thing we've won for ages.
Did people care about it then? Was it
only
elite?
Scuddy people?
Was it elite then?
Only Scuddy people cared about it. We don't care about it.
You got a point.
So Startmarshall then walks away for heat number 3. The takes rides away. It goes a very good start there for the rider in white Anders Rowe. As we predicted, though, that gate 2 is really working, and Rowe had that, and he made it absolutely electric. Something's gone off Alfie Bortel's bike there. I think that might have been a steel shoe that's come off. Lassie Fredrickson's riding a solid race there in second, and how crap must Zach Cook be to not capitalise on that big mistake from Alfie Bortel. Forgot who it was then for a moment. But a brilliant start from Anders Rowe, and he's out there, he's checked out, he's away, he's gone. He could go back to Poole, come back, and he'd still win this race, but we've got 1 lap left to go down. The gap is closing between 3rd and 4th rear. One mistake from Turkey Teeth, and Zachary Cook will be through. But as we come on the final 2 turns, it's a free race.
Lassie Fredrickson dropped the clutch first then, but Anders Bog dragged him to the first turn quicker. Good ride from Anders, and gate 2 is still unbeaten with 3 out of 3.
Something tells me that statistic may change in the next race.
Is Trigger in it, or Darrell?
Darrell
looked decent then, and he's not with twat features this time, so he's got half a chance. 8-3 was a win for the rider in white, Anders Rowe, second in blue, Lassie Fredrickson, and third in red, Alfie Botel. 3 apiece makes the progressive score 10-8. After heat 4, we'll bring Alan in for an update from the SGP2 qualifier at Glasgow. Let's have a look what's going on actually. Gate 4 is a favourite gate at Glasgow. Gate 3 is a gate you don't want.
No, 100%.
Alfie could have been right there. It could have been a steel shoe that come off.
It looked like something come off. It was either a chain guide or a steel shoe.
And the nature of Plymouth, if someone stops dead right in front of you, like Alfie pretty much did, Zach had no chance, did he? And
No.
yeah, it was over
I
pretty
think
much.
as soon as Zach saw that, he was just riding a safe race now, wasn't he?
Yeah, just to get it home without any incident. I think that's Mitchell Clough in blue. Couldn't tell. Somebody had their goggles on their face though, rather than on.
We'll soon find out. That is the Clough-meister.
Mitchell Clough comes in blue for Ben Trigger off gate 1. Gate 2 is scheduled to be Darryl Richings. Gate 3 in red is Ben Barker, and off the outside in white, Louis Kerr.
It is.
And Darryl does keep his spot off gate 2, and to be honest, he can gate, so if he can trap in this one, he has as good a chance as anybody.
The big question going into this race is which Lewis Kerr we're going to get, the world beater or the one that,
turned up at Oxford the other night,
that gets made his bitch by Mitchell Clough. It's going to be one or the other.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Lewis Kerr must know he's skating on very thin ice at Poole.
Poole aren't a team that'll stick around, especially with riders that could potentially opt to come back into British Speedway at Poole. Ben Cook, Tom Brennan maybe as well. So there are options there to replace Louis if he doesn't pick it up.
100% as the tapes rise for heat number 4 again. It's a very even start, and it is Darryl Richards actually that gets there, but it's Ben Barker that has the lead now. And to be fair, the Poole teammates just try to kill each other again there, and this one looks fairly spread out. Mitchell Clough is absolutely appalling. In fact, we should have a match race, Mitchell Clough versus Jedlis. That would be interesting. But
there's a throwback.
Ben Barker's certainly made this track his own here at the Coliseum in Plymouth, and nobody's catching him. Lewis Kerr's trying, but to no avail. The big battle, to be fair, is for third and fourth, with Mitchell Clough trying everything to get around Darryl Richards, but it just is not happening at all. And as they come round the final two bends, Ben Barker's won this at an absolute canter. Lewis Kerr second, Darryl Richards third, and Mitchell Clough says hello to the fence and bouncing off it like a bouncy castle.
Darryl was a bit unfortunate there. He actually gated the quickest. Gate 2's just got some material that's working, and then he got to the first turn and almost lifted. He got all out of shape. Just avoided Lewis Kerr, pretty much screwed Mitchell Clough's race up there and then, to be honest.
100%.
Barker was away and gone though, and Poole just had to sit in. But I don't think it's harsh to say that Darryl's steadied the ship a little bit since coming in to replace Matt Marson. He's picking up the odd point here and there.
Yeah, 100%.
And the result of Heat 4 was a win for the rider in red, Ben Barker, second in white, Louis Kerr, and third in yellow, Darryl Richings. Points divided 3 apiece, 13 points to 11. Now the progressive score, and that gives Gate 3 a win. Al, what you got for us?
What have I got for you?
Other than pick and mix that Palmer's been eating.
Yeah, other than pick and mix.
Chocolate orange.
Scores on the doors after Heat 8 are Alex Adamson, 2 from 2. Otto Rack, 1 from 2. Jan Jenisek, 2 from 2. Slater Lightcap, 3 from 2. Patricia Earhart, 1 from 2. Noel Wahilquist, 1 from 2. Ashton Bowsion, 4 from 2. Anthony Menzel, 5 from 2. Tate Zitschke, 4 from 2. Jake Mulford, 5 from 2. Timothy Dion, still hasn't scored from 2. Joe Thompson, 3 from 2. Villads Nigel, 3 from 2. Michael Anderson, 6 from 2. Jan Przanowski, 5 from 2. And Michael West, 3 from 2.
Gate 4 is still the favourite there, with 16 points coming from there. 8 from Gate 3, 12 from Gate 1 and 12 from Gate 2. Tatishki's Heat 5 still has the quickest time of the day, with the track getting slower now, going from 57s early on to Michael West's Heat 8 winning time of 59.6.
100%.
Gate stats here are basically telling us what we already know. 1 and 3 are crap. Well, 1 and 4 are crap. 2 and 3 are okay.
Well, 3's okay, 2 is brilliant.
1 has scored more points than 3, but 3 has got a race winner now. Although, to be fair, in that one, if Darrell's bike had dragged him and he hadn't got out of shape, I think he'd have got there first. There's definitely some material that's helping the riders pick up from Gate 2. These pits are a bit tight.
I'm not surprised to see Dower Richards as part of the upper end of the pits to Paul start.
Nah, no man.
I wonder who's going in heat number 5 in red.
Winchester sent me a message. Announcer is useless. How very bloody enthralling.
I know a sense of green announcer that's not useless and gives people shout outs.
Alan only got one because your nephew got one though. Lassie Fredrickson is in this one. Who's going to be the RR? That is the question. Anyone barring Chris Harris can take the RR because of the position Joe's in the team.
And looking at that, it isn't going to be Ben Triggett because he's too busy texting men.
And Ben Barker's too busy sitting on, well, whatever that is he's sitting on. Table, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's got to be Mitchell Clough then.
I reckon it might be Trigger. He's just put his phone down. I think it might be Trigger. I mean,
hey,
you'd imagine
Trigger.
Lassie Fredrickson will take Heat 12 because the other 3 RRs are with Lassie Fredrickson. So it'll be either Ben Barker or one of the 2 reserves in this one.
Is it just me, right, or do half the Poole's mechanics look like they need to go and do a couple of weeks with Weight Watchers?
Coming from me and you, the slimmest people around.
Yeah, we're slim compared to these, and this isn't just me having a go at them for being quite large people. This is just a slight observation.
And we can't really talk because, you know, our favourite hashtag is Fat Lives Matter.
Yeah, but our fat lives are important.
You got a point.
We've got a brand to try and run.
They should have had this truck at Leicester the other day. They wouldn't have run out of water.
You wouldn't have thought so.
Talking of Leicester, Palmer, when's our next watch along?
Monday.
Dinner time.
How fortunate are you people?
Early start for you that day, poor fella.
And now I'm going to have to wake up in the morning. I'm praying for myself already, guys.
I would like to go to Plymouth. I'd like to do it next year with Birmingham going. I'd like to do a few away tracks, do a little bit of a tour maybe, and tick some tracks off the list.
Doing Alan?
Just like Al's doing, yeah, except if I could drive, I wouldn't be getting the bloody train.
No. I'm going to do a tour next year as well, I think.
We could all do it together.
But I would imagine I'll have passed my driving test by then, and I'll have got a car, and I'll have got it all sorted.
Mitchell Clough's having a massage in the pits. It looks like he's in a bit of pain with his right arm.
I mean, to be fair, Mr. Clough, I've used my right arm plate today, and I'm not in any pain.
I can't believe you've just said that. It's even worse because Alan sat on the bed with you.
I know he had to help me.
Oh.
Well, no, we don't promote that kind of activity on Shoots and Shale. Do not do that if you're under the certain age.
We've got no viewers. To be fair to we got 2 viewers. This was a little bit impromptu.
Yeah.
This was very last minute. We were going to buy Glasgow and watch the GP2, but the weather forecast for there was worse than here, so we opted with the safer of the two options.
And looks like the 2 minutes will be on shortly for heat number 5, where we have our cult hero, Big Toby Thompson, coming out off gate 1.
Is he going to scare them explicit words?
Don't know. I'll ask that explicit word now. Al, did Tobias Thompson scare you in heat 1?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
The RR in heat 5 will be Ben Barker.
Benjamin Barker. Benjamin Barker.
Has Al got a programme as well? Well, a scorecard.
He has. He's filling it out just like that. That's an extra fee going on the invoice.
You wait till he's on that bus to Birmingham tomorrow and he's going to get a big IOU come through.
I'm not that evil. I'll wait till he gets home and then he just have the bill in the post.
Written up with a nice bit of wording on it as well, followed up at the end with "Have a nice day."
Have a nice day.
Look at that ice cream van. I don't quite think it's ice cream van weather looking at that wind, but I'd still be there because, you know, Fat Lives Matter and all that.
Big up the Poole mechanics.
Ben Barker getting the RR when it's off the tasty gate too. Well, or never.
How very convenient.
That's very cynical of us, Mr. Palmer. Line up of heat number 5 going off the inside gate in yellow. Heat 1 winner, cult hero for me and Palmer, Tobias Thompson. Gate 2 in red, Ben Barker. Gate 3 in white, looking to improve on his last place in heat 1, Richard Lawson. And off the outside in blue is my man to watch, Lashley Fredrickson. There's Wayne Jarvis in the box, and he's trying to get this through, to be fair. We're at heat 5 in 23 minutes.
And a track grade.
And a track grade in there as well, yeah. We're on course to be finished before the rain comes.
Matt Phillips, the new Rob Godfrey.
And to be fair, we did say during the season we'd have to cover every team if we could, so here's our covering of Plymouth.
Yes.
Sacrificial Saturday.
Daniel Winchester, if you're listening, Plymouth are crap. So, the boys just getting themselves lined up into order now. That Marshall then has to go onto his side to walk away for this one as the tapes rise. Away we go. It's a very good start there from Richard Lawson in the white helmet colour. Ben Barker now in the second place position. Tobias Thompson there in third. He's scaring the absolute poo out of Lassie Fredrickson by the looks of things. But Tobias Thompson's looking to make a pass on Ben Barker. It's very close between them till Richard Lawson's checked out. He's away. He's gone. He could go get himself a hamburger or an ice cream from the ice cream van that Dill's just mentioned. Thompson now looking to use the outside run, and it's not quite working because Ben Barker just blocked him instantly like that. And Lassie Fredrickson now trying to take advantage of a little mistake there from Tobias Thompson, but Thompson rectifies his mistake pretty quickly, and whilst it's still quite close, though I can't see this order changing, although Thompson makes another mistake there, and Fredrickson just not enough speed there to take advantage.
Ben Barker did everything he could to slow that race down, then to get Lassie into it, and he nearly succeeded, but Tobias crucially held on, and a good game from Lawson off free, to be fair, and he'll be happy with that. He's just not doing the business in heat ones at the moment.
And I mean, to be fair, right, Ben Barker, he gets a lot of shit for what he's done in the past and for selling things, and I get that, but he is a very good team player.
Mm-hmm. Results of heat 5 was a win for the rider in white, Richard Lawson. Second in red, the rider replacement, Ben Barker. And third in yellow, Tobias Thompson. 2 points to Plymouth, 4 to Poole. Ties us up at 15 points apiece at the 1/3 point of the meeting. Let's keep an eye out, see if we can see Winchester anywhere. No. A cutaway. Quite smart, really. Good game from Lawson.
Yeah, very good gate there it was from Richard Lawson. He just dropped the clutch first and he knew exactly what he was doing because him and Benjamin Barker have some beef. And yeah, Lawson always likes to get one over Ben Barker. He did so very, very well there and then.
And let's be honest, Richard Lawson isn't afraid to say to people what his thoughts are. We've seen him recently going off and sounding off on Facebook about things he doesn't agree with, and fair play.
Now, Lewis Kerr better watch out here. He's got 3 opposition and 0 teammates.
Wow, you got a point. Heat number 6 going off the inside gate in red for Plymouth, the guest Chris Harris. Gate 2 in white is the aforementioned Lewis Kerr riding solo. Gate 3 in blue is Alfie Botel, and off the outside in yellow, wearing a Poole race suit but will probably do Plymouth more favours, Paul Stark.
Gary May's been on the phone to D-Star to get Paul Stark a Plymouth suit made. All they needed was a couple of permanent markers and just colour in over the Poole suit. Huh?
You got a point. There's no logo already finished, so
Exactly. As I said to you earlier, Dill, the kids' race jackets they have in the club shop at Plymouth look better than the actual race suits.
100%. 100%. Louis Kerr finds himself on the favoured gate 2, and he's notoriously a good gaiter.
So is Steve Wallow, and he wasn't very good at gating.
Stevie Wonder from the tapes last night, weren't he? Christ.
Even Stevie Wonder would have made better gates. So the start battle about to walk there for heat number 6. As the tapes rise away we go, and that was an awful start there from Lewis Kerr. It is the Plymouth Gladiators currently on a 5-1 heat advantage with Alfie Botel leading the pack with Chris Harris there looking after him in second. Lewis Kerr's packed up because he was too scared that Paul Stark was going to run him into the fence. But it's the Gladiators currently on a 5-1, and this will extend, well, open a 4-point lead to the southwestern side. Well, just the southern side, to be fair. If he went any further south than Plymouth, he'd end up in the sea. But a great ride this from Alfie Botel, who hasn't really needed Chris Harris's assistance to keep this 5-1 going, and this will be a big confidence booster for Alfie Botel as the Gladiators open a lead.
I feel like Louis Kerr has got to be concerned about his team spot now. He's consistently having breakdowns and not performing, and Poole won't tolerate that.
So,
good ride from Alfie, and Bomber sat in there. He didn't need to. Alfie had it all under control. But a good 5-1 there for Plymouth. Decent-ish crowd considering the forecast and stuff.
100%.
Result of heat 6 was a win for the rider in blue, Alfie Botel. Second in red, Chris Harris, and third in yellow, Paul Stark. 5-1 to Plymouth makes the scores. 20 points to Plymouth, 16 points to Poole. And that's another win off gate 3. 1 and 4 are awful, but 2 and 3, 3 wins apiece.
100%. T-shirt coming soon.
Along with Fat Lives Matter and like a hot knife through butter and all of that good stuff. All the catchphrases.
And we've got another one now as well.
Thanks to Mr. Wheeler.
Not quite, but that could go on there as well. So last night, because I'd run out of cash, a friend that dropped us off, we weren't buying Macca's, and he bought me a couple of bits from Macca's, even though I said to him twice I didn't want anything. So the phrase I don't want anything is going on the t-shirt as well.
Did you eat it? That's the question.
Of course I did.
Riders on track for heat 7.
7 heats in half an hour. Who do these think they are?
And Ben Barker's off gate 2, that's why it was the RR in the last one, off the same gate. Little bit stiffer opposition though, gate 1 in white is Anders Rowe, gate 2 in red is Ben Barker, gate 3 in yellow looking to score after missing out first time out, Zach Cook. And off the outside in blue, Mitchell Clough, who was having a little bit of a massage on his arm in the pits, looked like he was in a little bit of discomfort.
Just a tad.
So you'd say Zach and Ben Barker are the two to keep an eye on gates-wise here. With all due respect to Mitchell Clough, I think he's a little bit outclassed in this one by the three on the inside of him.
Yeah, and obviously we can't discount Anders Rowe, but we can discount the stream working.
Again.
Yeah, just getting Ben Barker into line as the start marshal then walks away for heat number 7. The tapes reservoir, we've got some very good start there from both the Poole Pirates boys there, and it's the way this is going at the minute. It's going to be very similar to Scunthorpe last night, where one team gets a 5-1 and the other team hits straight back. But Ben Barker and Anders Rowe having a real ding-dong battle there. How the hell either of them have stayed on their motorcycles is beyond me. But Barker now trying to go around the outside, but Anders Rowe had a very smart race to knock his nose off, if you like. To come down now for the final lap, and Zach Cook's riding a very smart race there out in front. Very, very defensive there, and Anders Rowe fully deserves this second place. Ben
Barker's done him!
Barker's done him!
Hey! What a penis!
Ben Barker falls off.
Oh, God! What a clown!
Oh.
Zach won that, but he was not comfortable at all, causing all sorts of chaos through that race. Anders chopped Barker's nose off a couple of times. First lap he couldn't really do a lot about it, and Zach got all out of shape and screwed him, but Barker screwed it on. Brave move. Anders did everything he could whilst being fair. Then Ben Barker stacked it into the fence after the race. Hard racing there, but I think it was fair, to be honest.
Well, they're showing a replay.
Ben Barker's got that. Ben Barker's got it by miles. No question about it. That was brave, to be fair. He got that by miles. And then he went steaming in. Zach just laughed at him as he went past. Good race. It's taken 7 heats, but we got a bloody pass.
Daniel Winchester, if you're listening, Plymouth for crap, but we had a pass.
Heat number 7 was won by the rider in yellow, Zach Cook. Second in red on the line, Ben Barker. And third in white, Anders Rowe. 2 points to Plymouth, 4 to Poole, makes the progressive scores 22 points to 20. No, wrong heat, Plymouth TV. We ain't had a result on that yet. And if you do want to watch this, you can buy the stream for the mere old price of £13.99 from Gladiators TV with the commentary from their team.
Although, to be fair, the way me and you are going, I wouldn't want to listen to their commentary.
No, not me, to be honest, but yeah, Ben Barker, half a bike clear in that one. Zach did Anders no favours, to be honest. Got out of shape a few times. That 3 and 4 caught all of them out at one point, I think.
100% for tricky truck, and it's not to think these want to go to the Premiership.
Can you imagine someone like Emil going to Plymouth?
Can you imagine Emil and Jack Alder and that going to Plymouth?
They'd try and ride round the car park instead.
I mean, I'd try and ride on the motorway bridge above the stadium.
The riders coming out for Heat 8. After this one, we'll have a word from Al to see what's going on in the GP2 challenge. I think we're as per programme in this one. Yep, there's Trigger, Darrell's there, and Tobias Thompson and Turkey Teeth are there. So it is as per programme. The lineup going off the inside gate in yellow for Poole, Darrell Richings. Gate 2 in blue for Plymouth, Ben Trigger. Gate 3 in white for Poole is Tobias Thompson. And off the outside in red is Alfie Botel, already on paid 7 points from his 3 rides.
This could be Alfie's best score of the season so far, you know.
Rider replacement currently on 3+1 of a possible 6. I'd say Joe would have probably done a bit better than that. So Plymouth could be further ahead if Joe was here. 18 seconds for... Who's missing? Nobody, they're all there
No,
now.
they've all got to be ready to race in however many seconds are left now. We'll start Marshall then, getting them into order. And walks away. The riders look at the magnets, tapes rise away, goes to fairly even start there, but it's Ben Trigger that gets into the lead with Tobias Thompson now making ends meet and just getting rammed Ben Trigger like a knife going through hot butter as we go to the next lap. And it's a 3-all, which I think most people probably would have expected. Alfie Botel sitting there in the third place position, and all the riders look very comfortable in the positions that they're in now. Darrell Richards he's a bit further on the pace than what Mark Marson would have been, let's just put it like that. But Tobias Thompson really making Plymouth his stomping ground this evening, and is about half a lap away from his second race win of the evening, as he takes the win there.
Good pass that by Toby as well, to be honest. Alfie and Trigger had both got there. Tobias just turned it on around the outside, and he's an entertainer, something we don't really have much of in British Speedway these days, and he's a breath of fresh air. Do we get donuts? Probably not, but it'd be nice if we did. No.
No, we're not getting anything off him this evening, are we?
And the result of heat number 8 was a win for the rider in white, Tobias Thompson, second in blue, Ben Trigger, and third in red, Alfie Botel. Points divided 3 apiece, 25 points to 23, the progressive scores, and that's another win for Gate 3, moves Gate 3 on to 5 wins, and Gate 2 on to 3. Al, what you got for us?
Well, the scores up at Glasgow are as follows. Alex Adamson, 4 from 3. Otto Rack, still on 1 from 3. Jan Jenisek, 2 from 3. Slater Lightcap, 3 from 3. Trisha Earhart, 2 from 3. No, I'm not going to try and pronounce it again.
Valquist.
Oh, that one. 4 from 3. Ashton Bowson, 5 from 3. Anthony Menzel, 6 from 3. Kate Zitschke, 6 from 3. Jake Mulford, 7 from 3. Timmy Dion, 1 from 3. Joseph Thompson, 6 from 3. Vilad Nagel, 6 from 3. Mikael Anderson, still unbeaten, 9 from 3. Jan Przanowski, 7 from 3. And Michael West, 3 from 3.
What a boy, Al. Is it top 3 from each go through, or top 4?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
I hope it's the top 3. Then there's only one Bellevue rider that goes through.
Points wise now, Gate 1 has scored 10 points, Gate 2 16, Gate 3 is now the favoured gate with 17 points, and Gate 4 has scored 5, so 1 and 3 are clearly the favourite gates now.
Yeah, 100%.
And
Matt Phillips knows what he's doing on his tractor.
Louis Kerr getting ready to go out now. Needs to put in a good heat here. Needs a good race. It's that simple.
100%. And Harry Potter and Paul Stark coming out the pits looking a little bit red there. I wonder what they've been up to this evening.
Lassie Fredrickson is in, and I think it's the RR. Is it going to be Clough or is it going to be Triggs? I'd say after that one it should be Trigger.
It should be Triggs.
It won't be.
Just
but
to answer your question, though, top four.
The
top
top four that goes for.
So at the moment, Ishki is in.
Alan's worked it out, I'll tell you now, who's currently looks like to be in. Mikkel Anderson,
Jake Mulford, Jan Przewski and Ishki. I know I've got it on my phone.
Joe Thompson's in fourth, Bush takes in fifth.
Who beat who?
Head to head, because he's got, actually it sounds like Joe beat Tate.
Fair play. I hope Luke gets a ride. I love that tractor wheel's got a wheel thing on. It's got the Plymouth Gladiators thing in Majuga.
Better than no race suits.
It is.
It doesn't. Looking at this chart, obviously with people there and watching it, it doesn't look like it's going to go any further at Land of the Weege.
Was Cal put a picture of the track in?
Well, from his stream, because he's been silly enough to buy it.
Sod that, as the rain that they expected turned up.
Yeah.
While these are having a breather, shall we have one?
Go on then. Well, that rhymes. Hello, everybody. We had a lovely 5 minutes. We hope you did as well.
We're 5 minutes closer to death.
Yes, yes we are.
The RR in red is Ben Trigger as expected.
Ouch.
Oh, we have sound. No one in our comments, log, but we have sound. Although, to be fair, if anyone there was one that we're going to miss, it was probably a good choice to be this one.
To be fair, as I say, we didn't agree to do this till 2 hours ago, did we?
It's quite a late one, weren't it? So Ben Trigger rides in red as the RR, and to be fair, after last race, I think he's good for a point here, maybe.
He's off the unfavoured gate 4, so who knows.
Paul Stark's off the favoured gate 3 though, and if anyone's going to screw that up, it's him. Full lineup of heat number 9 going off the inside gate in white. We'll be looking to keep going this time. Lewis Kerr, gate 2 in blue. Lassie Fredrickson, gate 3 in yellow. Paul Stark, and off the outside in red, Ben Trigger. Some of the not higher point scorers on the go in this one.
The Plymouth crowd about to shout at Ben Trigger, Starky's gonna kill you, Starky's gonna kill you.
First I was
I feel it in my
alive, then I
bones.
was petrified. Yeah, Louis Kerr broke down in the last one. All too regular occurrence this year, isn't it?
It is 100%. Maybe he's putting a bit too much pressure on himself as well, being at a club like Poole.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if Poole get rid of him, I can only see Lewis Kerr coming back to one club.
Edinburgh?
No,
No. Plymouth?
no. Let's just say a club close to me. If
Nah,
that club was to make
I don't
changes.
see him going to yours. What a game,
No,
what a
but
trigger.
what a game from Trigger there. But it's Lewis Kerr that has the lead, and Paul Stark's joined him up in the second position. Now, what can Fredrickson do? Fredrickson round the outside there of Paul Stark, and he's looking like he wants to do Lewis Kerr as well. Ben Trigger at the back, struggling a little bit in this one, but Kerr takes a look round. He sees Lassie Fredrickson is, and Fredrickson's not a million miles behind. If Lewis makes one little mistake, Lassie will be through, and this is a really good battle up front, to be honest. As Fredrickson now looks to come up the inside of Lewis Kerr. It's not quite worked out for Lewis Kerr, just holding the right lines. But there's no lack of effort here from Lassie Fredrickson, and this sort of effort should be applauded. Ben Trigger's at the back. He's not having that career-defining season Plymouth was expecting him to have as they come round the final 2 turns. And that was a brilliant effort from Lassie Fredrickson. It just wasn't quite enough.
Good ride that from Louis Kerr. Last Fredrickson was there or thereabouts, just paid the price for a slow start, really. This call kicked me out, Perp, it won't happen again. Is Al dead?
No,
Al, are you dead?
no, I'm alive.
He's alive.
I'm
He's
a real
alive.
one.
He's alive. He's alive.
Good, no more funerals. The result of heat number 9 was a win for the rider in white, Louis Kerr, second in blue, Lass Fredrickson, and third in yellow, Paul Stark. 4-2 to Poole, ties us up again at 27 points apiece. Trigger dropped the clutch perfectly then, and just didn't quite get there. Stark, he came across his line, but he just didn't quite get there. But he dropped the clutch first, certainly from where I'm sat, it looked like anyway.
100%, that's a 100%.
That breaks the wins from gates 2 and 3 with a heat win coming from gate 1.
We'll just need Gate 4 to come to the party, and let's be honest, with anyone that's going to do it, it's going to be the man in Gate 4 in this race.
Bomber.
He who ruins British Speedway and our Saturday night watch alarms.
Good old bit of H20. Looking at the forecast, we're going to be seeing a lot of H20 this next few days. Yeah. The lineup of heat number 10 then, going off the inside gate in yellow. Good win last time out, Zach Cook. Gate 2 in blue, Alfie Botel on 7, paid 9 so far. Anders Rowe off gate 3 in white, just beaten on the line by Ben Barker last time out. And off the outside in red, 5-1 home with Alfie Botel in his last race, Chris Harris. And like Palmer's just said, if anyone's going to make gate 4 work, it's the fella who's on it now.
100%, but Anders has been really good value for money off the favoured gate 3, and obviously Zach's fighting now as well, so it's not easy. And Turkey Thief's had a very good night as well, so
Yes, yeah.
Nothing's guaranteed. What the bloody hell is this? That big.
Oh Christ!
That thing. As Al nods his head.
It's getting blustery at Plymouth.
Start Marshall and looks to walk away for hitting return. A very good start there for the rider in white there under the row. Chris Harris has not made it. Chris Harris is at the back at the minute, but he's just about come past the rider in yellow, which is Zach Cook, and Bomber wants to make a bit of a race of this now, but Anders Rowe's that far in front. It's going to be very, very difficult for Chris to make a race of it, and Zach Cook now looking to come up the inside there of Alfie Botel. Botel just puts the right line just to block Zach's run, and this is a decent race, this, from the two in third and fourth place positions. But Anders Rowe, he's checked out, he's away, he's gone. He could get himself a double cheeseburger and chips, and he's virtually won this one, I do believe. Although it's not as close as what it first was now, and Alfie's settled there in third, so it's going to be 3-all. Chris Harris has been really disappointing tonight.
He's been great, hasn't he? Zach Cook and it's either shit or bust for him. There's no in between. Chris Harris, 5 paid 7. You expect more than that from him, don't you? Alfie's been good value, finishing his note you would expect. Now finished on 8 plus 3, paid 11 points.
Yeah, 100%.
So the result of heat number 10 was a win for the rider in white, Anders Rowe. Second in red, Chris Harris. And third in blue, Alfie Botel. If the Evans do open now, we can award a result after 10. So we have reached the threshold for a result. It still looks dry and they are cracking on, but the winds are definitely picking up. So they're going to want to get through these last 5 to get to the full quota of 15 before the rain comes in. Look at the trees though.
Yeah, very picturesque, isn't it?
Brilliant gate from Anders there. Alfie made a good one as well.
We knew what they needed to do.
Zach's been disappointing, very disappointing. Bomber seeing a gap to come up the inside of his teammate as well, and to be honest, Alfie didn't leave it too difficult for him to do. And Bomber, I see what you mean about the one view, he looked closer than it was when it switched to the other camera.
So, heat number 11. We're really rattling through this.
Full lineup of this one going off the inside gate in red. Ben Barker, who stacked it into the fence after nicking second off Anders Rowe in his last one. Gate 2 in white, Richard Lawson. Those two meet again. It's 1-0 to Lawson so far. Gate 3 in blue is Mitchell Clough. Won heat 2 but has been disappointing since. Number 6 is a difficult position to ride in, but still. And off the outside in yellow, 2 race wins to his name. Scored in every heat so far. Tobias Thompson. Going to be more difficult off that gate 4 though, you'd say.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, gonna be interested.
Oh,
if both Barker and Lawson could get the first bed, could be
taster.
Could be tastier than a Chinese on a Saturday night. Oh, Chinese.
There's a few woods going on in that crowd. I hope it's not starting to rain. It does look like there is. It's getting a bit more misty.
Maybe it's just a little bit cold. I put me up when it's cold. Anyway, tapes rise there for heat number 11. Ben Barker's made that gate perfectly there, and Lawson are looking to the inside of Barker. Not quite worked out, and Mitchell Clough also now looking to do Lawson here, and Clough's not quite done it, but very, very close there between the two. Tobias Thompson's unfortunately at the back here, but Ben Barker's now extended his lead massively over Richard Lawson. Mitchell Clough's giving absolutely everything to try and get near Richard Lawson in the second place position. It's not quite working out for for young Mitch. Here's got 1 lap left to go, and it's going to be a 4-2 to the Gladiators, and yeah, a big ride there from Ben Barker.
First 0 on the scorecard for Tobias Thompson. Lawson missed the gate, Barker made it. That was basically all she wrote. And that makes it 1-1 between the two now, and they'll go for the decider in heat 13.
And potentially 15 as well. We could have another 2 clashes with these.
Richard Lawson, you say Chris Harris has been disappointing at number 1. Richard Lawson's been disappointing as well.
I mean, they both scored 5, so they're both equally as
crap as each other.
The
result of heat 11 was a win for the rider in red, Ben Barker. Second in white, Richard Lawson. And third in blue, Mitchell Clough. Plymouth edge ahead again after 11 with a 4-2. Makes it 34-32. And that's another win for gate 1.
If I was Gary Mayer, I'd be making a reserve switch in blue.
His Triggs had his roads. Yeah.
That's pretty right.
Mitchell Clough looked quicker there. And he was closer to Lawson than Lawson was to Barker.
Yeah, 100%. That was a solid first lap, to be fair, for Mitchell Clough. If only he had some bollocks to take Lawson a little bit wider, that could easily have been a 5-1.
Yeah, he's showing a little bit more consistency now than he did. Yeah, he's getting a couple more points. These look a funny old lot in Plymouth, don't they? My God.
Yeah, imagine this lot in the Premiership.
Interesting hat that Trigger's wearing after what you told me the other day.
Well, to be honest, I don't think he's got any involvement in Speedway anymore at all. It isn't the worst thing for British Speedway, to be honest.
No. Gate stats, Gate 1 has had 2 wins, Gate 2 has had 3, Gate 3 has had 6, Gate 4 has had none, Gate 4 has only scored 7 points as well. If you're on there, you might as well put your last place in. Gate 1 has got 16, Gate 2 has got 21, Gate 3 has got 22 points. So 1 and 3, massive advantage to be on. Triggs and Ben Barker having a bit of a chin wag. That suits doing Ben Barker no bloody favours at all.
No.
He's like in our little clan, isn't he? The FLM clan.
He is.
Al, anything from Glasgow?
Sadly not.
It's been called off then,
And the
isn't it?
fact it's a shithole.
I think it might be on a break. Nothing's happened.
Probably having a break to see if the rain passes, and then it won't, and then they'll just abandon it.
Our referee is currently in the pits talking to the riders.
He'll be sacked off.
When I get another update, I'll let you know.
What the bloody hell are these doing?
They're waiting till 10 past 8 before making a decision.
That's a nice way of saying there'll be 11 more minutes until they officially call it off, but they ain't going to see any more action now. Unsatisfactory when it's called off after 3 though, isn't it? Because you'll never know. You know, some riders may not have had the better gates yet, and they're being screwed out of them.
But this is what happens when you hold an FIM event, not only in Britain, but Scotland.
Lassie Fredrickson, as expected, is the rider replacement in heat number 12. Was Starkey meant to be in yellow, or was he coming for Darrell?
No, Stark's meant to be in yellow here.
Starkey's meant to be in. Okay, blue looks like Mitchell Clough to me, that. It is Mitchell Clough. So the full lineup of heat number 12 going off the inside gate in red, the rider replacement, Lassie Fredrickson. Gate 2 in yellow, Paul Stark. Gate 3 in blue is a reserve switch. Mitchell Clough comes in for Ben Trigger. And off the outside in white, Anders Rowe. If anyone's going to make that gate 4 work, it's going to be him.
It is.
And with all due respect to these 3 others on the inside of him, it's not the toughest of heats he'll ever have.
It isn't.
But Mitchell Clough looked quicker last time out. And Lassie Fredrickson's been there or thereabouts as well. And he's off gate 1, which is coming decent.
That it is. So, Star Marshall about to walk away for heat number 12 of Tapes Res and Blue, because a very good start there for Paul Stark in the yellow one with colour Anders Rose. Absolutely
has it been stopped?
Both the Plymouth points up the inside and outside of Paul Stark there. What a ride from the Plymouth pairing that is, and Anders Rose can't really do anything about it. And Plymouth are going to rob themselves into a 6-point lead if this happens. And Mitchell Clough is about to take his 2nd heat win of the season. This is pretty something. This I don't think we expected this before the race. We've got 1 lap left to go. Paul Stark's looking to put the challenge in on Lassie Fredrickson, but it's not quite happening. And history is in the making here. Mitchell Clough goes and takes his 2nd race win of the season.
Oh my God, how did Paul Stark come out of bend 2 in the lead and then 30 metres down the track was behind? Jesus Christ. I thought the Reds had come on. I thought he'd slow down because the Reds. These are a funny bunch. These on day release or what? Mark Phillips looks a little bit camp there. Gary May having a cheeky feel of Mitchell Clough. Giving him all kind of tickles.
Like that.
E12, the result was a win for the rider in blue. Mitchell Clough 2nd in red. Lassie Fredrickson. And 3rd in yellow, Paul the Starter Stark. Can only start because he's crap after the 1st or 2nd turn. My God, what was that? And I thought Anders was going to Poole in that 1st and 2nd turn.
100%.
Look at where Stark is coming out at his 1st turn compared to where he is going into the 3rd turn. Honestly, I thought the Reds had come on. Lassie Fredrickson had a little bit of a nibble before the tapes went as well. How does he go from there to there?
Well, they've just outclassed him.
Oh, God. And,
no one believes me that Mitchell Clough's just won 2 races in a meeting.
And Poole have got to start being concerned about this now.
Very much so.
And to be fair, it's, you know, Zach 3 points of a possible 9, Lawson 5 of a possible 9, Louis Kerr 5 of a possible 9. You can't really put a lot on Darrell. He's doing what he was brought in to do as temporary cover, but the big guns for Poole are letting them down again.
100%.
This is an interesting one because Poole need a 5-1 back here. It really is that simple. Nothing else will do.
No, and I could see Ben Barker popping out and winning this one.
From the unfavoured go for.
Well, I mean, we've said it for the past 4 races. We may as well say it for this one as well. If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be the one off 4.
You got a point. Heat 13, going off the inside gate in white for Poole. Richard Lawson, gate 2 in red for Plymouth. The guest, Chris Harris, gate 3 in yellow, Lewis Kerr. And off the outside in blue, Ben Barker. The two number ones, and to be fair, Lewis Kerr have been really disappointing. Ben Barker is showing his three Premiership counterparts how to get it done.
100%. It just goes to show they could do it on cold evenings in the Premiership, but on a rainy Saturday afternoon in Plymouth,
They can't.
it's a no-go.
And with the June averages, Richard Lawson goes to number 1 for Kings Lynn now as well. Chris Harris leaves that position. He looked like a crab getting through there. Bomber moved. He's punished
Tapes
himself.
rise for heat
Reds
number
are on.
13, and the Reds are on.
He punished himself. What were the Reds on for? Poole were on a 5-1.
As we see the replay here.
Bomber was the only one moving, and he punished himself. Wayne Jarvis is a pain in the arse for doing that. Rather than seeing where it ends up after the first turn, the Reds are straight on. Penis.
Is that like the technical guy that does for Plymouth Streams, yeah?
And Danny Ford will be spitting feathers, I think is the phrase, because Bomber gets a second bite at the cherry. He should get a warning for that, but he punished himself, so I don't quite know why it was stopped, if I'm honest. Be interesting to see if any Premiership clubs showed an interest in Ben Barker.
Plymouth next season.
I'd be interested to see that if any Premiership clubs took a note of what he's doing in this league and thought
Ipswich
give him
tend to.
a chance. Compared to everyone else's handlebars, Bombers are so weird.
To be fair, Bomber is a bit of a weirdo, isn't he?
You got a point. Same 4 riders, same 4 gates. Poole were on a 5-1 in the initial stoppage, so it's bound to be a 5-1 to Plymouth in the rerun.
I mean, it would be a bit of an upset if it was.
It would be a bit of an upset if it was. No, Chris Harris has got to sit still, otherwise there'll be an exclusion. I don't know where Winchester is, but he ain't sat on that side of the stadium. Star Marshall could do with a new top though. That looks like it's seen better days.
It still looks in better condition than Peter Schreck's Oxford Speedway top that he wore last night.
Oh God.
His top made my belly look smaller than my top, and my top was a bit too small for me.
It was 2 sizes short though.
Well, 3. But yeah, my doily top is 3XL, and it's exactly the same size as my Scuddy top, which is an XL. Work that one out as the tapes rise for heat number 13. The rerun, and it's Chris Harris that's made the gate here, and Ben Barker coming up underneath Richard Lawson there to get the Gladiators onto a 5-1 heat advantage here as Richard Lawson now looking to up the inside there of Ben Barker. A great ride there from Richard Lawson, and now Lawson trying to block Ben Barker's run here as Chris Harris is still in the front, Lewis Kerr's at the back. And to be fair, if anything, Richard Lawson looks more settled now in the in second place position. Lewis Kerr's trying to put some pressure on Ben Barker, but Ben Barker's just holding the right lines to keep this a 4-2 to the Gladiators here. But we're coming on the final 2 turns. Chris Harris finally has a win. And Lewis Kerr doesn't look very happy with him.
For me, that should be Lewis Kerr's last ride. If I'm a Poole fan, I'm calling for him to be replaced, if I'm honest. He is awful.
The Poole fans have been calling for him to be replaced all season.
He's no good, absolutely crap. Bomber got, as we expected, Bomber got away with a clean start there. Good pass by Lawson to get the inside of Ben Barker, but that puts Plymouth 8 points up with 10 to race for. The result of Heat 13 was a win for the rider in red, Chris Harris, second in white, Richard Lawson, and third in blue, Ben Barker. Poole need to make a change, a Heat leader change.
I do, massively.
They won't take nicely to losing at Plymouth again. They lost at home to Oxford. Okay, they beat Scunny at home, but let's be honest, Scunny aren't fantastic anyway.
Who beat Scuddy at home?
Poole, ain't they?
Poole's beat Scuddy at Wimborne Road, but they haven't been to
That's what I
Scuddy.
meant.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Poole beat Scunny at Poole. But yeah, Lewis Kerr needs to be sacked. It's really as simple as that.
It is really.
And I think it was quite telling that nobody was stood talking to him much in the pits. It feels like it's a matter of when, not if. And if there's ever a time for Zach Cook to come to the party, this is it.
Yeah, I think Danny Ford's probably just found his invitation in the back of his programme and give it to Zach.
The lineup of Heat 14 going off the inside gate in blue, Mitchell Clough, gate 2 in white, Zach Cook, gate 3 in red is Lassie Fredrickson, and being sacrificed off that brilliant gate 4 when you need a 5-1 is Darryl Richings.
That it is.
If ever there's a sign that Poole are waving the white flag on this one, this is it.
Yes.
Nothing other than a 5-1, mate. They'll try and keep it close to go back to Wimborne Road in the second leg, but with this Poole team, they don't look anywhere near as invincible as they'd like to. There's not a fear factor with this Poole team.
You know, it was mentioned in the clubhouse at Scunny last night. I think it was David Howe that said it. He says Oxford, Redcar and Glasgow, he thinks them three are shoe-ins for playoffs, which, based on current form, you can't disagree. He says Poole aren't guaranteed to be there. There's not that big feeling about them this year that there normally is. Anyway, takes rise for heat number 14, and Zach Cook's gated there, but Lassie Fredrickson looking to come round the outside of him. He's done that just nicely. What a rad there from Lassie Fredrickson to keep get round Zach Cook, and to be fair, Mitchell Clough's looking to do the same, but it's not quite worked out for him that lap. Darryl Richings has just made a little mistake there, and so has Mitchell Clough. I'm not too sure who's in third at the minute because the camera cut off, but it's literally third as Darryl's now just a million miles at the back, but Zach Cook's looking to put some pressure on Lassie Fredrickson and looks to come up the inside there. Up the inside, and it's not quite worked out for him. So one lap left to go. It's a close, intense battle here at the front. It's a close battle, to be fair, at the back at the camera angle. But yeah, this is going to be a win for Lassie Fredrickson, and Zach Cook there was the second.
Darryl was on the pace there, to be honest, but yeah, it's game over. Plymouth win on the night, they're 10 points up. Good win for Lassie there, and Poole need to start asking questions of certain people. Zach's been crap tonight with 5 points of a possible 12. It's not good enough, is it?
It's not good enough. Are you sure we can't do a watch along to the second leg of this one?
Instead of Oxford and Scuddy.
We've already done Oxford Scuddy once.
We've done Poole and Plymouth once as well.
Well, we've done them twice now.
So we'll do Oxford and Scuddy twice.
Third time's the charm.
The result of 14 was a win for the rider in red, Lassie Fredrickson, second in white, Zach Cook, and third in blue, Mitchell Clough. 4-2 to Plymouth, 47-37 with 1 to go. Darryl Richings has been a vast improvement on Matty Marson though.
Yeah, he is.
100%. He's at least in the same stratosphere in races.
Yeah, 100%.
Zach made the best start there, but Lassie screwed it on round the outside. Zach's too reliant on that inside, and there's nothing there.
Yeah, 100%. I can't disagree
I
with
thought
that.
Darryl had done enough there, but he ran just a touch wide, and then he ran really wide in this one, and that was his challenge over.
Yeah,
Interesting
100%.
to see who goes where in this one.
There could be some interesting phone calls made by Danny Ford there, the voter.
Danny's asking for Anders Rowan, Richard Lawson, Tobias Thompson's in the chat as well. I'd say Anders and Lawson will be the two.
I wouldn't be against Tobias getting 8.15. He has almost done it, to be fair.
All three of them are on 7 points. But if you look at the most recent races...
You should be at Plymouth now. They're doing the kiddies race. They could run after you, they could chase you out.
Isn't that Winchester's job?
Chase me, chase me!
Oh, that's why Winchester's gone.
Yeah.
Anything going on at Glasgow, Al?
Yeah, not a lot.
Oh.
It doesn't sound promising, according to the guys in the chat.
You can't decide whether to call it off or to keep it going, or...
I mean, you'll have some riders saying, "Oh, we want to call it off now." The ones who are safe or on the cusp, and then you'll have riders that are the wrong end of the threshold, saying, "Oh, well, we'll go on for another round and see where it goes there." The problem is, if you decide to carry it on and there's a bad accident, who takes responsibility for that? But then I'd be fuming if I missed out on a threshold.
And the thing is as well, if you call it off now, the top three is sorted, but the top go through, and there's about 3 or 4 riders on the same points that would be in that 4th position. So it's not an ideal scenario.
Definitely not. Run, Forrest, run! Hey, that fella's all over the grass. Get him out!
Excluded. Oh, apparently they've done heat 13 according to Buddy. Oh, we've got the oh no. He's stupid.
Can't say the next bit.
I can't say the next bit because that is the explicit today. I'm a professional here on Shoots of Sail.
I swear that fella that's just won was the one who was all over the bloody grass.
Yeah.
Cheated. Cheating. Insert explicits. According to Glasgow Tigers Speedway on Facebook, with the rain falling here at Ashford. It's not falling here in Scunny, I don't know, Tipton.
No,
There has been a delay to the SGP2 qualifier.
Why did they not think to bring it forward just a touch more to like 6 o'clock?
Why did not think to have it at 3 o'clock?
You know, when it was dry.
Exactly.
Look at the dog, I wanted the pooch to win.
Yeah.
Justice for the dog.
Happy little fella. Ben Barker's there, pole dancing for Chris Harris is pole dancing for him and Gary May. Bomber looks like he's trying to use that pole to keep himself upright. It looks like he could go for 40 winks. And as Parva said earlier, we're back on Monday midday for Leicester versus Birmingham, and the plan is to also be back on Wednesday for the Oxford Cheetahs versus the Scunthorpe Scorpions. And potentially later in the week, but we'll confirm that closer to the time, but there is a plan.
They're there. They're there.
Thanks, Al. Yeah, so we've got a potential of 3 watch-alongs this week. Maybe, probably.
Bombers in blue in 15.
Maybe even 4.
Maybe 4, yeah. Go away, Mark Phillips, you penis.
He just wanted to show off his new mug that he got from the charity shop.
Why is everyone at Plymouth touching themselves up? What on earth is going on? Ben Barker's putting his tear-offs on, so he'll go in red. I mean, I'd argue the meeting's won. Alfie Botel, for me, deserves it, or Lassie Fredrickson, or both. I don't think it needed to be Ben Barker or Chris Harris, to be honest.
Sure.
100%.
I know they're going to want to take it 52-38 going down to Wimborne Road, but even at home I think Poole are good enough to turn that round.
Yeah.
The stream's actually playing up, it's put us back.
You hear it?
That's in the.
See, we're seeing this fool with his mug again, but this isn't live.
It's not ideal, like, is it? Try connection 2.
Be Plymouth.
There we go.
There we go.
And it's Richard Lawson and Anders Rowe in for Poole. This connection doesn't seem very strong with the first one working again now.
Blue.
Yes. Sort of.
And Gary May just having a little chin rub with Chris Harris there. Chris Harris to Plymouth 2026 question mark.
Don't say that around Alan. He's sitting on the end of your bed and you don't have to be cleaning his brains up off your wall.
I would not be downhearted if he went to Plymouth.
Alan wants Chris Harris out of Glasgow confirmed.
I didn't want him back the first time round.
I'm guessing Poole had choice in 15 because they've got 1 and 3, and with our gate 4's gone, if Plymouth had choice, they would not have gone for gate 4. And Chris Harris has been sacrificed off here. So the full lineup of Heat 15. It's been a good old watch along, an hour and 22 with track grades and stuff. Not a bad one to be honest, only to stay dry. Lineup going off the inside gate in white for Poole is Richard Lawson. Gate 2 in red for Plymouth, Ben Barker. Gate 3 in yellow for Poole is Anders Rowe. And off the graveyard outside gate in blue is Chris Harris for the final time tonight. Monday will probably be me and Palmer doing this. Alan may be here from his hotel travel lodge in Perry Bar, and if he is, he'll be doing updates from the meeting at Bellevue, I think it is.
Yeah, Bellevue's got 12.
The other 12 o'clock start, yeah.
Oh, don't forget, at your travel lodge there's a lovely cafe right next door that do brilliant turkey stuffing and gravy sandwiches with cans of Carly breakfast.
Beautiful vending machine as well.
Always good vending machine in travel lodge. Better than Premier Inn's vending machines, I have to say.
I think the vending machine is card only though.
Yeah, vending machine was card only. But it's a good job Al's nan's giving him £100 on his card.
What a woman.
I wish my nan would give me £100 on her card.
Anders Rose just completely ignored the star marshal.
So the saves rise there for heat number 15, and Anders Rose got it all wrong, and Richard Lawson's now got to the front, and Anders Rose joined him there now with him, and now Ben Barker, not Ben Barker, Chris Harris, no, it's Ben Barker, looking to get round the outside there of Anders Rose, and he's done him nicely, and now Ben Barker's got his eyes set on Richard Lawson. Chris Harris is at the back. Chris Harris is struggling off that sacrificial graveyard gate number 4. As we're coming to the next lap, Richard Lawson's virtually got this one in the back. The big battles for second and third, with Ben Barker just holding off the rider in yellow, which is Anders Rowe. Anders trying as much as he can, and Chris Harris going really, really. If Chris Harris went any ride, he'd go back to Exeter. But as a go past the checkered flag, it's a 4-2-2. Oh.
Messy first turn, that. Very messy. Anders snaked off the start. Poole started out on a 5-1. Ben Barker got through. Chris Harris was close at the end, but not quite there. Chris Harris was moaning about Anders' start position, even though Bomber was the opposite end to his gate. Start marshal told Anders to move. Anders ignored him. Result of Heat 15 was a win for the rider in white, Richard Lawson. Second in red, Ben Barker. And third in yellow, Anders Rowe. Anders Rowe and Ben Barker comparing notes. Looks all friendly, to be fair. I think there's a bit of a little bit of banter going on there. And the final score is Plymouth 49 points, Poole 41. Poole are more than capable of turning that over at home, to be honest, and I think it's just in time because it looks like it's about to absolutely piss it down there.
So, I'll go down the individual scorers then for both teams. For Plymouth, Chris Harris scored 8 and 2, Alfie Botel 8 and 3, Lassie Fredrickson 9 and 1, Ben 13, Mitchell Clough 8, Ben Trigger 3. For Poole Pirates, then Richard Lawson scored 10, Tobias Thompson 7, Anders Rowe 8, Zach Cook 5, Lewis Kerr 5, Paul Statt 5, Darryl Richards 1 and 1.
Do you want to
So-
run us through our plan for the next couple of days then, and then we'll disappear for the evening?
So we are back on Monday dinner time, where it'll probably just be me and Dill, depending on if our resident here, Mr. Owl, can join us or not on the Travelodge Wi-Fi is yet to be seen. We will be covering Leicester versus Birmingham on Monday dinner time. Wednesday we'll be covering Oxford versus Scunthorpe, much to my sadness, and I will go home crying after that one. And then there's a potential double header on Friday. We're not 100% sure as of yet what plans are, but they will be released as soon as we know.
And do you want to wrap us up as well, Palmer? Al, I presume you ain't got anything from Glasgow.
No.
Short and sweet.
He's been Al, Dill's been Dill, I've been Dan. That was Plymouth versus Poole. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. I'm off to watch Saturday night's main event.